Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all how I prepared this delicious okra soup. For you to get a detailed recipe, make sure you watch the video to the end. I have here my okra. I've washed it already. Dried fish, blended pepper, powdered crayfish, chopped onion, fresh fish, and goat meat. So I'll get started with seasoning my goat meat. I'll season it with salt. I'll add some seasoning cubes. Then I'll bring in my blended pepper. This is hot pepper, by the way. I'll add in my chopped onion. And this is going to be all about my seasoning as of now. I'll mix this and let it cook nicely for about 25 minutes. And while this is cooking, I'm going to start preparing my okra. So I'm going to use a chopping board and a knife to first of all cut it into big chops, and then I'll use a blender, a chopper to finely chop it. So while I'm doing this, I would like to welcome everyone who is new on my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, you're highly welcomed. And if you would like to watch similar recipes just like these, then why not click on the subscribe button to join my community? I would sincerely appreciate if you can click on the red subscribe button to join this community. So I'm just going to chop this up in here. I have some tiny hands here trying to help me, and I dare not refuse. So that's my daughter there trying to help me, picking up the okra and putting it into the chopper. So I'll chop this up. You can chop it a bit in larger sizes if you don't want it really finely chopped, but this is how I want mine to be. And this size is perfect for me. This is all of the okra in here, all set for cooking. So I'll just beat it up. I didn't add any extra water again to it because I used water when I was chopping it up in the chopper. So that's it all set. I'll put it aside. Let's go back to our boiling goat meat. So this is it. You can see that it produced actually some amount of water. Remember, I didn't add any water in here. Now I'm going to bring in my dried fish. Then I'll also add in some extra water because I don't want the soup too thick. I want enough soup and I don't want it too thick. I don't like when my okra is just too thick. Moreover, I'm going to be adding in some fish later on, so I still have a lot of things to add in here. So that's going to be enough water for my cooking. I'm going to cover the pot and then while this is on the fire, I'm going to start preparing my vegetable. I'll be using this large leaves spinach. So I'll chop up my spinach and get it set to add into my pot later on. What I normally do with spinach is after chopping it up, I put some hot water into it. Some people may think that this method takes out the nutrients, but I do not think so. So I put hot water first and then add cold water. I don't need to wash it. I just, yeah, hot water and then cold water to rinse. That's all. So I'll go back to my boiling goat meat and add in the rest of the ingredients. Adding my fresh fish at this point. So the name of this fish is I think Scottish mackerel. You can just call it mackerel because mackerel, I think there are two types. The other one is one we're actually very versed with, but this smooth one I think is called a Scottish mackerel. I think that's the name, yeah. That's the name. That's the name on the packet when I buy it. I'll bring in my crayfish as well now. If you want your crayfish really powdered form, then just blend it a little bit more. But I want a bit of particles in mine. And I will let this be on the fire before bringing in the rest of the ingredients. I'll add in my palm oil now. And first of all, I'm that kind of person that believes cooking should not be too stressful. Oh, don't spend so much time in the kitchen cooking. That's me. Anything I can do to make cooking really quicker and easier, I'll do it. That's why if you watch most of my recipes, I try to do them the easiest way. Yes, I said I try to do the recipes in the simplest way ever, but they are also very tasty. So it just doesn't need all the time frying and all that to make food good. You can use the easiest method ever to spend less time cooking in the kitchen. So I've added in the chopped okra and I've added in my spinach as well. For the spinach, if you prefer to add in the green leaves without adding the hot water, that's fine. But one thing I notice is if you add it that way, it changes the color of your soup. It makes it a bit green. Yeah, it makes it a bit green, but that's perfect. It's very nutritive that way anyways, but if you prefer it that way, that's fine. So my okra is in here, everything is in here. I'm just going to let this pot simmer just for a couple of minutes, and that is going to be it. So this is my okra soup. It is perfectly cooked. It's a very large quantity. My kids love okra, so that's why I always make it much. Whenever I'm cooking okra, I do it in a big size pot because that's something they like so much. I'm going to be having this with curry. You can have okra soup with any fufu of your choice. Some people even have it with rice. Some people have it with what again? Yeah, rice. But you can have it with any fufu of your choice. Today, let's have it with curry. You all, this tastes so good. See you all next time.